If I were to start making jewelry right from the start, I would use some classic crystals and beads that people would recognize, and one of them would be tiger eye. Are you familiar with tiger eye? We're going to make some cool earrings today. I just went out and grabbed a bunch of these off of my store floor at our bead bar, and I'm going to turn them into earrings because I've completely sold out of everything that has to do with tiger's eye. And if you know the history of tiger's eye or you looked into the symbolism of it, it's all about strength and courage. And actually, for thousands of years, it holds much significance in history as soldiers would carry it into battle to ensure they return safely at the end of the day. So this stone is all about courage and strength, determination, to persevere. I see even young people come in and they have to stand up in front of the class and give a speech. And like one of the greatest fear in the world is the fear of public speaking, and come in looking for something that they can hold and put into their pocket just to give them strength and courage so that they can, do the task at hand. And so this is a beautiful stone. Tell me if you're familiar with it. It is so pretty. So let's do some earrings today. And I really loved these. It is Sonia. Thank you for joining me on my journey of daily jewelry making. I have a shop here pretty much on Lake Erie, just like a mile from the lake edge. And honestly, right now I'm stocking my shop full of jewelry for the summer and doing a 30-day basically craft jewelry with me every day event. So tell me if you've been enjoying it. And yeah, so that's where we are. So I'm going to line up all the hearts right there. Wearing my heart right there on my table. And I kind of was playing around with the design for this, and I'll show you what I'm thinking about doing. And it is so easy, I swear. It is so easy. So pick two hearts that, are kind of the same size. If your crystals are real, that's a good way to know that they are real, is that Mother Earth, she provides and grows these beautiful things for us to play with. But they're not identical, right? It's like humans. We're alike, but we're all different in our own ways. And so I picked two hearts that are carved about the same size, but they have little variations in them. So pick two that kind of have the same, that just kind of mirror each other. All right, and then I've got my pin, my literally my straight pin right here. So I'm not going to use one that has a loop today because I don't need to dangle. You could if you want to, but I'm just going to use this as a little head pin right here. He's got a head and he's going to capture that little heart so it doesn't fall off. And next up, this is another trick. So if I were to go ahead and put a bead on right now, which I'll show you, this is Czech glass. It's a little flower. I've been kind of hoarding these beads, not gonna lie, but I'm like, nope, I must release you into the wild. So you can go ahead and you can just, do that back to back. But you know how the heart has like a cut down up right here between the two humps, and then the flower as well, it's got its own little it doesn't go together tightly, it just kind of has this space, and you can actually see the pin behind it. So a trick that you can do is right before you group those together, I picked up some of these little discs right here. And you guys know that I have them linked, sfbead.com. S is in sushi, F is in ferret, bead.com. You'll find my supply list. And I drop that on over. And when I do, it just kind of jangles. It gives some little texture to your earrings. But it also does the job of just filling in that little bit of space right there. So you have now movement in your earrings, but also just the way it hangs. Now I can go ahead and just by having that little spacer in between, it just makes things connect, and I'm not just looking at an actual pin connecting the two. Now I have a little texture. That is gorgeous. So this is my plan. I've got two different ones to try for the top. My heart on the bottom, my heart is big, okay? I got a big heart. My heart is big right here, and I don't want the top to compete with it. Or to feel like it's bigger than the bottom, right? At least not for my design. So the flower might be the biggest thing I put on here. And then I've got these guys, which are gorgeous. So these are faceted little biscuits, okay? They're biscuits. They're faceted little biscuits. That's what they look like. We were talking about donuts yesterday. I'm on a kick here. So I can end with that. and it just kind of mirrors the bottom. So that's an option right there, right? And it twists and turns, and it's got all these cuts into it so it catches the light. That's really pretty. So that was a possibility. The other ones I went and got are these guys, and these are also tiger eye, so I know it's going to match. I'm not sure what you are, sir. How did you get in here? I think you're a little bit bigger of a size into my bead soup mix. Yeah, okay. Sometimes the beads, it happens, right? So anyhow, I'm thinking about maybe even using these guys. These are a matte, M-A-T-T-E, and they're kind of like a flat tiger eye. It doesn't have any sort of cut or anything. They're smaller, and it's still going to match up, but it's not going to be like matchy-matchy, which I think I'm going to love, and I do love that a whole lot better. The faceted ones are gorgeous in themselves, but I don't think it's the piece for me. And plus, doing like a really shiny top when I have a really pretty bead, glass bead right here, you know, I don't want it to compete. So I'm very happy with that. What do you think of that design? And I don't need anything else, honestly, with this. These are just going to be classic. And if you're not into the symbolism of all the crystal stones, which, trust me, I've done my studies. I'm certified in the whole crystal area of my life because I wanted to learn about it and help a lot of people who have questions who come into my shop about it. But here we go. That's the dangle right now, right? That's the dangle. And so you could put the one that has the loop on the bottom, and then you could dangle something else off. But today I'm going to go for some classic ones, at least for this style. So let's do a couple together real quick, and then we'll hang them. You know me, if I can, I like to do at least, making sure that it's okay, looks okay, at least 3 sets if I can. I'm going to take out these. I've got like mixed different colors of them. So for this, I'm going to stick with this brown bronzy textured hammered look. Is that the same ones I have there? I need to make sure. Actually, no, I think on this one I have more of a gold one. So it's important to look to make sure. I feel like that might be a gold one. And you know what's also helpful is if you take it at, oh, here's another, just kind of a brushed one. That's it. Okay. So they match together. That's cool. I could even do that copper one for the next set. So I will tell you that if you line your stuff up first before you start, it's always good too, because that way you have a chance to look like, do my flowers look like the same size? Because when you're dealing with, you know, hand-cut stuff, handmade can be different, and that's what makes it beautiful. But that's just the tip. So I'm just going to look at those two. See, this guy has, well, no, actually, he's pretty cool. He has a little more black into the bead. Let's see if we go with one that has a bit of a, there we go. That feels like it matches better. Not identical, and that's okay. I'm going to let that sit together. You'll also find my looper linked as well. What do you think? 1, 2. All right, I'm going to pull some out so I can really see them. I've got silver disc as well. So that's like almost like a brushed copper look. You guys see? I'm just laying them out. I'm doing exactly what I'm telling you to do right now, and that is lay them out because it'll make things go faster. And yeah, they will go faster. There we go. I also got some little tiny flowers in here. I saved a pair of these because I do want to make myself, oh, perfect. They matched really nice. I do want to make myself a pair too. Like I say, that's kind of I see how that's kind of drilled to the side there. Let me see if there's one that goes straight to the middle. That's better. I like that better. But that's part of the tax, right? The tax of making jewelry is, you know what? I get to keep a pair for myself, making all this nice stuff for other people. Gotta take care of you. Keeps me motivated. Let's be honest. Who doesn't want a little treat? So today is another warm day, but we're not shocked, are we, guys? We're not shocked. Pretty soon we got to get to the end of this. This is kind of going, you see how this one is kind of like sideways? So I'm just trying to keep them upright as much as possible. So I'm going to look for one that's really cut in the center. And again, that's just when you're dealing with hand-carved beads. Oh, see, I forgot my little thing there. It rained yesterday for a little bit, maybe 45 minutes, maybe 30 minutes if we were lucky. And I said to Matt, I'm like, is it raining now? It's getting dark. You know, one can only hope. And he went out to the front and he's like, come here, it's raining. And we stood out front and just, it was I felt like a shower, you know, when you're just catching all the mist, like a mister. I posted yesterday that I'd be much more happy with summer if somebody could just come along and mist me like produce. You know, the meme I posted was like, mist at me like produce every hour. But I would honestly be okay with every 15 minutes. That's my last set right here. And then we'll have 3 done. And guys, it's before lunch right now. We're killing it. We're killing it. We're making stuff every day. I got my fish packaged up yesterday. Got those out. I'm telling you, we're killing it. But the truth is that if every day you do a batch of something, just keep making. And, you know, like I say, objects in motion tend to stay in motion. And then you just keep making. You get ideas. Every day I get ideas. And there's a million things of different designs that you could do. But the most important thing you can do is just do something. Because you can get to all the other designs every single day. But just every day, making something. You get a little bit better. You just get all the ideas. Oh, that's pretty. Look at the markings on this one. Isn't that wild? Love that. All right, let's get any little bits that want to stick on. You cannot come along. Ooh, pretty. So now we have 3 sets done. Look at us go. All right, let's see here. We're here to see now the finale, okay? The grand finale is, now that should be open a little bit. Still open. Remember, we don't need to, oh my gosh, I love it already. This is a great idea. I love how you think. All right. Like I say, there's a million different designs that you can do, but offer all kinds, because when people come in, they'll find the ones that they love. You know, they'll be drawn to the ones that they love. And then I'm convinced after having a store and being self-employed and watching this for well over a decade, that you make stuff, and you know what? Sometimes it might not sell right away. And then sometimes all of a sudden you sell, like they all disappear within, I don't know, 48 hours, they're gone. So you just have your job, at least my job, is to stock a beautiful store. And then when people come in the shop, they find what they love. And I think somebody's going to love these. All right, let me put them on a little taggy tag here. Because let's be honest, we love to see them on a taggy tag. Oh my gosh. They just swivel, and everything swivels on it, right? Wow. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that pretty? We did that. All right, let me do one more here. I love the lines on these hearts. And, you know, you make something and then you're like, oh, I love these. You see what I'm saying? Like, these were the ones that had the lines across. Some of them look like they have scribbles on them. I'm referring to the crystal markings. Just gorgeous. It's also fun when you can go out and get your own crystals and wrap them. You know, go back and watch my wire wrapping tutorial, get some ideas. We actually live not that far from a Herkimer diamond mine, and they are the most beautiful crystals, double pointed quartz crystals, and they would be beautiful made into wrapped and done. You know, I make lockets with them, all kinds of stuff. But I think I'm going to have to go out and, when it cools down, go out and, you know, do a day out there with Matt, get some crystals. I'll film a vlog. Let me know if you want to come along and see what that's like. But yeah, when you kind of like, it's funny, crystals came first for me, like the actual crystals, and we sell them here at the shop. And then from there, I grew into making jewelry because, you know, I love jewelry anyhow. But I realized that a lot of people would not just want to take a crystal with them, like a rose quartz crystal. They would say, hey, do you have any rose quartz earrings? And I'm like, or do you have a rose quartz necklace? And then I'd wrap some, and they would all sell out. And I'm like, ooh, must make more. I love this. Working with the hands, creating something that never existed before, seeing the love that people have. It's a lot of fun. Oh, wow. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Look at that. So then this is, of course, is the finishing touch. I have one more to do, and I might sit here and make a few more. Probably go have lunch and then, you know, come back. Leave everything set up here. I might go dip my hand in the hearts out there again. We have like little rose quartz hearts, which gives me ideas as well. Speaking of rose quartz, because we could definitely do some rose quartz like this as well. You know, just start somewhere because you want to come with me. Steady cling. Look at that. See, that's what it looks like, right? And you come in, you go, I need those. I need those in my life. And yeah, we made this. What I've been doing as well is usually before I put them in now, I write like tiger's eye on here so that way people know. And I have my sign that says handmade, stainless steel wires. So yeah, those are gorgeous, if I don't say so myself. And they just kind of dangle and move around. Love them. Let me know what you think of the tiger's eye Czech glass earrings, and hopefully you learned a few tips as well about just creating some texture so when they hang they just kind of flow and fill in all the spaces of the head pin. But we still have, actually I can make one more pair today. I'm going to take those out and work on those, finish those up, go pick some hearts that I know are like really drilled in the center because I want them to hang. If it's a bracelet, it's one thing, I'll use those for that, but I want the yeah, I want the little hole in the bottom to be really centered. Okay, I feel like that would be good. Yeah, I feel like that's good right there. I'll put this back out. But anything drilled kind of like wonky to the side, I'll just use those for bracelets. But for earrings, I want them to hang straight. Look at that. We did that. We did that. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I hope you enjoyed my video. Leave me a flower below. Pick me your favorite flower in the emojis and leave me a little flower below if you got this far in the video. And yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you for all your support and for just watching and following along. And we'll get into something else again tomorrow. Bye.